I don't know where McGann is. She's having some type of like personal journey and reevaluating everything.
Maybe she's on strike.
Maybe she is. I
Do
didn't
we
think
know
about
her
that.
union status?
No, and she is a broadcaster. Welcome to the first show where we cover two of our favorite topics, pets and pop culture. I'm Julie.
And I'm Mariah, bringing you the fluff, the raw, and the rough. Megan is off again today. We're not sure where she is, and we hope she didn't quit.
We do have some fur correspondents to help us fill in. And if you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it.
In this week's fur, acting out.
A star calls bullshit.
A rough rescue.
A sealed fate.
And viral videos. First up, the flashy girl from Flushing is on the front lines.
It's fine. After you.
Mr. Sheffield, I can't go in there. My mother had 3 rules. Never make contact with a public toilet. Never, ever, ever cross a picket line. What was the 3rd one? Oh, yeah. Never wear musk oil to the zoo.
It's fine. You're embarrassing me now. Come along.
I can't. My Andor blouse would roll over in her grave, which was paid for by her union.
The Screen Actors Guild has joined the Writers Guild of America in their ongoing strike, and some were surprised to learn that the nanny actress Fran Drescher is the current SAG president. She has held the position since 2021 and gave a rousing speech at a press conference announcing the union's intention to strike.
At some point, the jig is up. You cannot keep being dwindled and marginalized and disrespected and dishonored. The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history that is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble.
SAG members, including Elijah Wood and Bob Odenkirk, posted their support on Twitter. Writer at The Real Valley referenced Ronald Reagan's union presidency during the last SAG-WGA strike in 1960, tweeting, "If things go like they did last time SAG and the WGA stuck together, Fran Drescher will soon be president of the United States."
Good. I didn't realize how much AI was at the center of this and their concerns about what's going to happen. And they're definitely legit concerns. This is pretty huge. Next up, 1,000,000 reasons not to pay. The dog theft reward lawsuit involving Lady Gaga has been dismissed. The singer and actress is not forced to paw over $500,000 to this shady woman who returned her stolen fur babies. Her French bulldogs, Koji and Gustave, were stolen from her good friend, Ryan Fisher, and dog walker in Hollywood in 2021. He was taking care of the dogs while Lady Gaga wasn't home, and he got actually shot, severely injured, trying to protect the dogs. 2 of the dogs were taken, but her 3rd dog, Asia, wasn't taken and actually stayed by Ryan's side while he was bleeding out. Thank God he's okay now, but he had a long recovery. So we actually covered this story right after it occurred in February of 2021. Here's a flashback to our vintage episode with our anchor McGann.
This week's news. This is Ruff. Lady Gaga's 3 French bulls were involved in a shooting in Hollywood. 2 of her French bulls, Koji and Gustave, were dognapped. The other escaped, the black one. Our sources could not get a name. Oh, and the dog walker got shot in the arm.
So right after that dog napping, Lady Gaga had offered the reward for their safe return. However, she did not give the money to that woman, Jennifer McBride. The woman claimed she was a good Samaritan. She found the dogs on the street. She had no idea the dogs were part of Lady Gaga's pack, and she returned them to the police station nearby. But it winds up Jennifer actually has been convicted of being involved in the dog napping. She was in a relationship with the father of one of the 3 men involved in the violent attack, and Jennifer was sentenced to 2 years probation. She pleaded no contest to knowingly receiving stolen property. But even though all this happened, after Lady Gaga refused to pay out the reward, because initially, she's giving out $500,000 to anyone, no questions asked, for the safe return of her dogs when it happened. Lady Gaga, of course, obviously she refuses to pay. This woman sues her. She sues to demand the money because she said that Lady Gaga said there was no questions asked. So she's still asking for the money. The Star filed a motion to dismiss the lawsuit because the woman was part of the conspiracy to steal her fur kids. And TMZ had reported that the case was thrown out before it made it to trial. And Jennifer, the woman who was accused of being part of this conspiracy, actually could still resubmit this case. It's crazy. It's of course unlikely to go anywhere. So really, what is wrong with people? I just have to say, Mariah, like, if you condone a crime where somebody got severely injured and you're taking, 2 members of somebody's family, she tried to profit off the violent crime and she still wants money for it. She's lucky that she's not in jail. Like, I don't even know what to say to this. This is ridiculous. And it's very sad on what is going on with people today.
That is wild. That is my first time hearing this update. And that is so bold.
She's just lucky that that guy didn't die. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I can't.
Next up, a hair-raising rescue. A German Shepherd took a terrifying tumble 300 feet off of a cliff in Ecola State Park in Oregon, finding herself trapped on Cannon Beach. A Coast Guard helicopter crew were able to reach the petrified pup and return her to her owner. The pooch's injuries were cared for at an emergency vet visit, and she is now in good health.
Thank you for sharing a feel-good story. It's just so nice to see the other side of humanity after our Lady Gaga story. Next up, one man's sealed fate is giving hope to many humans.
But we're supposed to be friends forever.
So we just took a look at a clip of Kevin Hines. When Kevin Hines was 19, he tried to off himself in San Francisco. He was bipolar. He was having paranoid delusions, very depressed. He thinks he started to become really depressed when he was 17, and he was pretty much a happy kid up until then. So anyway, in 2000, he goes to the Golden Gate Bridge. He gets on a bus. His parents have no idea what's going on. And he was crying on the bus. This is serious mental illness. He was actually still hoping that somebody might ask him, does he need anything? Is he okay? But instead of that happening, what happened is a dad and his kid were like looking at him funny. The dad said to his kid, what's wrong with him? And then another person was laughing at him. He gets to the Golden Gate Bridge. He's still upset, visibly distraught. A woman asks him to take her picture. And so he goes ahead, takes her picture. She thanks him. And then he goes and jumps off the bridge. Immediately after he's jumping and he's falling into the water at 75 miles per hour, he regrets it and he doesn't want to die. And that's his first thought. So he goes rushing into the water. He shatters his vertebrae, and he even said it in some of his social media posts, like broken glass. He was lacerated internally. He was vacuumed down the water by 70 feet beneath the surface. His legs couldn't move. And then he started feeling something bobbing him up. He didn't know what it was. And he thought at first it was a shark and he was about to be eaten. He really didn't know what was going on. Then all of a sudden, this rubbery object starts pushing him further to the surface, and he gets up to the surface, and then the Coast Guard saves him. So he almost died. And actually, he's one of only 36, less than 1%, to survive a fall from the Golden Gate Bridge. This happens. He changes his life. He winds up trying to handle what's going on with his mental illness. He becomes a suicide prevention advocate, an advocate for building a suicide barrier net around the Golden Gate Bridge. He's the inspiration for multiple films, memoirs. He's a best-selling author, and he made it his mission to help other people. So anyway, a sea lion saved him. Multiple witnesses say they saw a sea lion circling him and raising him to the surface of the water. It's just amazing what animals can do.
You just always have to be mindful of how you treat other people. Great for him, great for the sea lion. I hope he's getting unlimited fishes for the rest of his life, as he deserves. Before we get into our producer picks, we'd like to share a couple of fluffed up posts that went viral with our correspondents.
Fuck being good, I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live. Wet hoes hate under my pictures on the gram. Bitch, you better hope I never run across your man. In the mall with him, I'ma have a ball with him. Somebody.
And finally, our video picks of the week.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. No.
Do that? You telling bad stories about you?
I said you rub your butthole on my head.
You're not little no more, Harley. You can't just... Well, I guess you can.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to sniff out the latest headlines you need to know from the Podemic Network, brought to you by the Muttly crew.
And if you have feedback or story suggestions, please leave a comment, subscribe, share, and like the Muttly Crew channel on YouTube for fur and other possum entertainment.
I'm excited to hear this next story, though. I haven't read this one yet.
Actually, was it our first episode? McGann covered the dog napping, and we do have footage of that. I hope McGann doesn't mind that we're showing it. I mean, she's not even here, so, you know, fingers and paws crossed, she's fine that we're showing it. I'm in a safe space because Julie, she's a senior, and I feel like I'm in a safer place because of all the ageism directed at me by McGann. I feel more comfortable because if Julie comes on, I know she's going to compare us and make us compete for the same spot, and Julie could be threatening my position as a producer because I feel like McGann only has room for one or two seniors, and she thinks that I am
and one Julie
and one
potentially.